Blockchain technology holds the potential to revolutionize countless industries. But to date, most of the adoption that we've seen has been around financial use cases like cryptocurrency and DeFi. But what about all the other untapped sectors like AI, Web 3.0, gaming, and so much more? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about an exciting new blockchain network that's going to be launching very soon that holds the potential to unlock a bunch of new use cases that have nothing to do with crypto. It's launching in just over a week at the time recording this video. It's going to have a 100% fair launch token. There's big rewards out there for developers, so trust me, you don't want to miss this. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know in this video today as a blockchain developer myself who works with this technology on a daily basis. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something you're interested in, then smash that like button down below and subscribe. And if you want to take advantage of all the insane opportunity that's happening in crypto right now, I can show you how to increase your income by becoming a blockchain developer step by step over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, so let's get into this. Let's talk about this new blockchain network that's launching next week that holds the potential to unlock a ton of new use cases. So what is it? Well, it's AO, the hyper-parallel computer put out by Arweave. Okay, and it's launching next week on June 13th with a fair launch token generation event. I'll explain that more here in a minute. Now, I want to dive into in this video, but I want to just say up front, this is not a sponsored video. I just want to make this because it's starting to get a lot of buzz online. I want to talk about it. And of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any cryptocurrency based on this information. But why could this be such a big deal? Well, like I was saying, this aims to unlock the ability to create scalable, decentralized applications that don't have anything to do with cryptocurrency or DeFi. Things like AI, Web 3.0, social media, gaming, whatever you can basically do with a modern computer on the web, you could potentially do with this. So let's see why. All right, so most modern blockchains are focusing on financial use cases because of how they work. That's really the type of use cases that they clearly enable. So let's just look at an example. Let's say you're going to use the Ethereum blockchain to transfer cryptocurrency around, okay? So if I'm going to send cryptocurrency from my account to yours, I'm just going to send one ETH. That's a simple transaction. Now, whenever that happens, when I'm sending the transaction, I'm the star of the show because the blockchain is just processing one transaction at a time. And that's a feature, not a bug. It's by design. Because when I'm sending cryptocurrency, I don't want a different transaction, coming in and competing that could potentially conflict with me moving that cryptocurrency around, changing balances and messing up the state. And the same thing is true like if you're trading tokens on a decentralized exchange. If you're going to swap a token, all right, on something like Ethereum, it's processing one transaction at a time, and it's going to process your token swap before it lets any other transactions come in that could conflict with the outcome of that transaction. And again, it works really well for that specific use case, but it does really constrain it from addressing other use cases. Now, we do have other blockchains and layer 2s out there that support a different type of transaction processing, most notably parallel transactions, which I'll talk about here in a second. But mostly, these are still trying to unlock financial use cases at scale much faster. So that's kind of the bottleneck with most blockchains that are enabling financial use cases with DeFi. But what does AO, the computer, do differently? Well, again, their motto is hyper parallel compute. So what it allows you to do is spin up multiple processes simultaneously that you can access. And these processes could, run complex programs, not just, process transactions. But at the heart of this design is parallel transaction processing, which is very different from what I was talking about a minute ago, where most blockchains are processing one transaction at a time. You let one transaction go through, you wait for the end result, you process the next one. So parallel processing is having multiple things running at the same time concurrently, and then, settling whatever result comes out of those transactions onto a ledger. Now, there's lots of debate on whether this is actually good for financial transaction processing because of the limitations I mentioned a minute ago. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but what I want to focus on is the types of use cases this could potentially unlock besides just processing financial transactions. Because that's sort of where the secret sauce is with AO, the computer, because these processes can run complex programs, okay? You can have decentralized programs that run like modern applications, but they're distributed across multiple machines that are executing this and having some type of consensus. And these types of compute resources aren't really possible with the hardware and the software that's running most blockchain networks out there right now. So what types of things could you do with that? Well, you could run like distributed artificial intelligence models, so like a large language model like ChatGPT, some type of indexer for social media. If you wanted to run like a massive social media website, Maybe you wanted to create like an algorithm, for example. You can't do that type of stuff on a blockchain right now. And you could just generally run, trustless web services at scale. And so how does it work? Well, I'm going to refer you to the AO Computer Twitter. There's a video pinned here at the top that has a very extensive video with a really deep technical explanation that I'm not going to get totally into in this video. I want to keep these some brief and the high level. So definitely go check that out if you haven't already. But the big picture here is that AO the Computer is built on top of Arweave. Okay, so what is Arweave if you don't know? Basically, it's a decentralized blockchain network that offers permanent and censorship-resistant data storage. So it's a cryptocurrency protocol that uses a variation of blockchain technology called Blockweave to ensure long-lasting storage solutions. So, most blockchains right now are there to process transactions, but they're not good for like file storage or lots of data, okay? But that's really what Arweave is built with in mind. And so it uses that as a base layer, and then it's building AO the Computer with all these like subnets that actually settle on top of Arweave to make this technology possible. So if you've seen things like layer 2 scaling solutions for, technologies like Ethereum, where you create this second environment where you can do transactions and those settle back on the main chain, they piggyback on top of Ethereum. That's, building a modular blockchain with multiple layers. That's kind of what this is like. Basically, you have Arweave underneath. You have these subnets that are dependent upon it, and that's what runs AO the Computer and makes these other decentralized compute processes possible. All right, so when is this going to go live? Well, like I was saying before, it's going to go live next week on June 13th. Okay, there's a test net that's happening already, but that test net is going to get converted to the main net where we'll actually see this live for production use starting next week. And now that leads me to the next thing, which a lot of people really want to know about, which is the token generation event. Because when this is going to go live, it's going to have a cryptocurrency associated with it, the AO token. Okay. So how do the tokenomics work? Well, it's going to be a 100% fair launch token. All right. There's zero pre-mine, pre-sales, or preferential access, et cetera, basically when the tokens on the market, anybody can get them. So how can you get it? Well, there's 3 different ways. Okay. The first way is by bridging to AO. Okay, you will get tokens minted, apparently from what we can see here, by bridging. All right, you can hold AR tokens because AO is the cryptocurrency for AO the Computer Network. AR is the cryptocurrency for the Arweave network. Okay, they're dependent upon one another, but there's 2 different cryptocurrencies here. Okay, so you can get AO tokens for holding AR tokens, and finally, you can get AO tokens by building. So if you're a developer watching this, there's some opportunity to earn for building on top of AO the Computer. And then as far as total supply, there's 21 million coins in existence and a 4-year halving on the emission schedule. Now, we don't know a whole lot more than what's listed here, but that's the initial info. All right, so if you're a developer and you want to get your hands dirty with this stuff, again, there's some incentives here for developers. It's also pretty cool what you could potentially do with this technology. How can you get started? You can go to ao.arweave.dev. You can click on try it now. Okay, and that's going to give you the cookbook. All right, I definitely recommend watching the video and reading the technical documentation to understand exactly more how it works. But basically, you can see different tutorials inside of here. You can see a tutorial for the getting started guide, and then also how to create different bots and games. That would be probably a pretty good primer just to get your hands dirty with the technology and see what you could actually create. All right, so finally, what are my thoughts on this project? Again, this is not a sponsor video. I just seen a lot of people talking about this. This is an anticipated event coming up. So what do I think is going on here? So one is I'm pretty excited about the potential to create blockchain applications or decentralized applications that have nothing to do with financial use cases. Okay, I think DeFi and finance is a great use case for crypto, but I think there's so many other things we can do with this technology that we're just scratching the surface of. And anybody who is really trying to crack the code on how we can do that and build it in a meaningful way that actually works has my attention. Okay, and for that reason, this project does have my attention. Now, we still have to wait for this to launch. We have to see if we can get applications ported over to this that are actually useful, where these use cases can start to take off and get adopted in a meaningful way. But if they're able to do that, then I think there's a bright future ahead for this particular project, and then also the entire blockchain Web 3.0 space, so that we can get to that next level of adoption. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Are you excited about AO the Computer? Do you think this holds potential to unlock new blockchain use cases besides just cryptocurrency and DeFi? Do you think this is just not even going to work? I want to hear from you. And whenever you're finished leaving your comment, make sure you smash that like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe. And if you want to take advantage of all the crazy opportunity that's happening in crypto right now, then the absolute best way to do that is to invest in yourself and become a blockchain developer and increase your income. And I can show you how to do that step by step from start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You really don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.